In August 2021, we went to Jersey on holiday, and my daughter was looking for shells on Le Havre des Pas beach and started finding some really interesting objects. And when we looked at them closer, they were clearly pottery and appeared to be very old pottery. So I sent some pictures off to Jersey Heritage, and they confirmed that they were indeed quite old pottery, possibly post 16th, 17th, and 18th century. But it was quite hard for them to see from photos. So to make it easier for Jersey Heritage and anybody else who wants to look at these and knows anything about pottery, I've taken some videos and some more photos and include them in this video. So I'd love to hear from anybody. Just leave comments below if you know anything about pottery and what these items are, what sort of date and where they may have come from. Um, in the videos, when I first start out, it's quite wobbly and I haven't zoomed in much, but bear with me because I have zoomed in and you will see some of the shards of pottery very, very clearly. Yeah. So these are the painted, I guess I'd describe as porcelain, but I know nothing about pottery. So these are the ones that are painted, and we've got blue, we've got sort of like a dark blue, we've got a lighter blue. There's some greens up here. Some of them are similar, some of them are slightly different green. Then we've got some very faded blues there. And then this rather unusual sort of sky blue. So let's just have a close look at these. Now, some of them are double-sided. I think that, if we turn that one over for me, that one's double-sided. And try that one. Yep, and possibly, oh, yeah, that one's not. Well, it has got a bit of paint on the other side, but you can see it's also a ridge. I'm afraid this shadow is making it difficult to see. But you can see that top one here is a ridge on it, and these are double-sided. And it's a glazed sort of finished, hard glazed finish. Now, whether some of these are from the same piece of pottery, I don't know. Some of them look very similar. Some of them look slightly different colour. And then these are the lighter blue ones. I think some of them, yeah, you can see that one's got a little bit of paint on the other side. I think the others are all single-sided. Yeah. And these ones are very faded. Okay, let's zoom in on a few of these. Okay, and yeah, these are my favourite because it's very, very intricate. The little dots, and you can see there's like a ridge. And you can see the curved shape of whatever the vessel it was. Yeah, this is a strange colour. It's very different to the others. Yeah, is that a double-sided one?
Yes, it is.
Oh yeah, and the other side is really interesting. It's got this like brown sort of crazed look. And then the greens. And that's it for these. So here we have some more pattern shards, different colours this time. We've got these two which are not that interesting because there's only a little bit of paint showing, but these brown ones are quite interesting. Let me just zoom in on them to show the detail. So there's some sort of plant drawn on it. Not sure what this is. And then there's these two they do look a slightly different colour brown. This here looks like grapes, I think. Then we have this one, which is a black sort of colour. And another brown. Again, we got a plant. It's not focusing very well. Okay, there we go. This has only a tiny bit of paint that survived, assuming it was completely painted. And this is a ridge. You can see the shape of this one. And then we have this green, greeny black. Let's zoom in on that one and show the detail. So this looks like a fence and a post, I think, and some steps. So next is our three most interesting finds, and the reason that they are interesting is because they've got writing on them. Now this one is particularly interesting because it has a coat of arms. If I can just get it to, here we go. I'm trying to hold it still. So you can see WIL, and then that looks like the beginning of England, EN and G. So at the bottom there you can see the top of the EN and G. So that looks like it says England. I'm not sure what the first bit says just before WIL. And then you can see the coat of arms above it, which is I guess a lion with a crown on. So if anybody knows what this is, please let me know. Next we have this one. This is very faded, but it has the letters CHE, and I think that the last one is an M. Nothing on the other side. And then finally, this has some very unusual letters, and it's quite hard to see. But I can't work out the first letters. I think then we might have a U, and that could be again a U or possibly an A with the top missing. I'm not sure what this is, but that last one looks like it might be a W. And then if we turn it over, you can see that there's paint on the inside of this as well. And you can also see the curved shape. So we've got some brown paint and some green paint. And it's a very, it's like a stone pot of some sort. It's very different to the other pieces. Okay, next we have this interesting piece, which I don't know, it looks like the top of a bottle, almost like a stone bottle or a clay bottle. I don't know what it's made of. It's kind of got a stone sort of feel to it. But you can see on the inside these interesting ridges, which are shiny and glazed, whereas the other side is very stone and matte looking, with this brown colour. Okay, then we have two pieces that possibly may be from the same object, because the colour looks very similar. Although if you flip them over, they are a little bit different on the inside. So you can see this one has got great big ridges in there, whereas this one can't. It doesn't feel smooth, but it hasn't got the certainly hasn't got the deep ridges that the other one has got. If you look at the shape of them, you can see the curve of the of what some sort of vessel. I'm not quite sure which way it sits, but it might be the bottom of something. And then this one is a slightly different colour. Again, it's this sort of stone feel material. And then finally, we have this very unusual object. I'm not sure it wasn't just a stone, but it's got such perfect symmetry, you know, with these parallel lines, which look like they're painted on the inside. Okay, next we have some that look like they're from the same item because they all look almost identical. So these have a ridge. If I put my finger in there, maybe you can see it. I don't know. Can I borrow a pencil a minute? Yeah, so you can see there's a ridge going all the way along here, and that ridge is painted like a little, not ridge, maybe a valley would be a better word. And you can see the next one's the same, and these two are definitely identical. Certainly, the color of the paint is the same, and so is that one. That one may be the same. I think it's probably just faded. And then again, that one, it's not quite as shiny looking as the others, but certainly these first three, you can see, are all very, very similar, like they're from the same piece. So I would love to know what these might be. And then, interestingly, we have something very similar. Again, so you've got this valley here, this indentation, but this time it's yellow. So maybe a similar sort of object, but made in a different colour? Don't know. Love to know if anybody can tell me what these are. Right, so next we come to a bit of a random selection, but what some of these do have in common is they either look like the base of a vessel or a rim. Or some of the others have just got interesting patterns, but we'll come on to them. So these two look like they're from the same object. So if you can flip them around, flip them over, yeah. Okay, and turn the other one around. Yeah. Yeah, there does look like there's some sort of paint, or there has been some sort of paint on the inside. They've got this yellow sort of finish. Then we have this one, which is slightly glazed. This looks like the top of a jar or something. This one here is glazed, whereas the others are more of a sort of matte stone finish. This is another glazed one, which looks like a rim. Well, that looks like it might be a bottle neck or a jug neck. And that's the base of something. Again, this is a rim here. And this has got an interesting pattern, actually. It's not painted on, it's just, I don't know what the term is, moulded into it. And the same here. So the next group is pieces that we found with stripes on. Some of these are very similar. I couldn't say whether they're from the same object or not. But you can see they have these stripes in there. Again, the stripes not painted on there. They're a pattern inside the moulding. There's nothing on the other side. The other side of all of these is smooth. Now this one here, again, is striped, but it's got a shiny finish. It's a glazed finish. And the inside is, although it's smooth, it's also glazed. And it's a rim. And I think this one also is glazed. And finally, this tiny piece here, which has got kind of a yellow finish, and you can see a rim or little ridge. Oh, and another one's disappeared. Again, you can just see you can see a rim and a few stripes there. So the next group is clay-coloured ones. I'm really not sure what some of these are. I mean, this is a huge piece, and I don't know whether it's a tile. I mean, it is curved, so it could be a piece of pottery. It's very thick. If it was a piece of pottery, it was a very big piece of pottery. And the same one for this. This is not quite as thick as the other one. Now this piece here clearly has a ridge on it, so that looks like the top of something. And then we've got these interesting little pieces. So again, it's clay sort of coloured, but when you flip them over, you see they've been painted on the other side. And then again, we have another one down here that's been painted on the other side. And there, white on the other side. And this is very different. Now this is a much darker brown sort of colour. It almost looks like a floor tile or something. This is raised. This white area here is raised. So that's all the clay coloured ones. And finally we come on to the white. Now the majority of pieces that we found were white. In fact, this rather bland looking piece here with no distinct markings on it, we found hundreds of them. But I've tried to pick out some of the white ones that are a bit more distinctive. So you can see here this is a rim of some sort, and there's a rim on the other side also. Again, that's part of a rim. That's slightly glazed. Here's another glazed one here. This is a very shiny piece here. Let's try and get a better angle. So again, you can see the rim there like the top of a pot. This looks like the base of something. I don't know, a cup, a saucer. Again, more rims. And this was quite different to the others. This has these great big grooves in there. You can see the groove in there. So again, it's striped, but they're big, thick grooves. And then finally, these three really unusual looking objects. In fact, I thought they were stones, but again, the patterns seem quite man-made. So this one looks like it's painted on the one side. and then you've got these stripes. This one I think is painted just the one side, and that there looks like the same paint. But we have many others. I mean, there's lots more greys, an endless supply of whites. So I've just picked out the distinctive ones. Yeah, there's another one that my daughter's just pointed out. Again, it's got a similar distinctive brown paint on it. And that's it really.